Hey everybody! Happy Facilitation Friday. I am here today to talk to you about a problem I think many of you may have. You may have had a situation where you have had to, I'm going to use the word herd cats. Have you ever had a meeting, a workshop that's been like herding cats? I have. Sidetrackers, hippos, disruptors, not actual hippos, like the highest paid person just coming in and doing their thing. I'm going to talk to you about how to get people on the same page, literally and figuratively, by getting them aligned on the journey ahead by using the room as your agenda. So, hey everybody, I'm Daniel Stillman. I am from the Conversation Factory. Every week, this year at the very least, I have been doing a short video on a crucial topic to help you get people to actually think together and to get amazing results together. If you're listening to the podcast, I hold up pictures of the videos, so I think the videos are also helpful. I also do a Medium write-up, and you can check those out on the conversationfactory.com to see all of those resources in previous episodes. Last week, I talked about how if you want to lead people, you need to know three things. Those three things were like, where are they in body, mind, and heart? And that is obviously sort of an abstract concept. That is a mental model to help you think alone as a facilitator so that you can help people think together. And, you know, my favorite 5 E's framework of experience design, how do you invite people or entice them into a world that they will enter a threshold and engage with an experience that you are designing for them. They will exit intentionally having reached a goal, and you will extend that relationship through a cadence of renewal. This is something for you. I mean, it's also something for a team to think through, but you as a facilitator, this is something to like put in your brain, to tattoo on your eyelids. I use my own 5 P's conversation design pyramid to think through, what's the purpose of this gathering? What are the principles that I want people to align on for how they're going to interact and talk and converse and agree? Who are the people that we're bringing in and why? Like, why these people and not other people? Why not more people or fewer people? What is the process that I'm going to try and get people to focus or align on or agree on? And how are we going to measure progress, both in the room and after? That's for me. That's using a framework implicitly. And I also want to talk about tools that help people think together. And the one that I'm going to be focusing on today is this idea of opening, exploring, and closing. And I hammer on this because it holds a certain logical beauty and clarity for me. And because of the beauty and the clarity that I see in it, it enables me to lead people through it and with it. I also like to flatter myself. I ran into a guy who I did a half-day workshop at his agency like 3 years ago, and he and his team are still using Open, Explore, and Close to organize their work individually and together. And so that looks like this. And this is what I'm talking about. Where are we in our process? If we are going to open or generate ideas or options or user profiles that we want to think about or sources of funding, we want to explore all of these things, work them out, give them time and space to breathe, and then we want to narrow down or align or close, choose one, and exit together. You can use the space to do this, and it's super duper powerful to get up out of your seats and to move from one area to the other and address these 3 questions in sequence. It also helps you introduce people to the fact that this is what we're going to do. Move them through the room. If people want to change the agenda, you change it in the room, and everyone can see the results of their agreements. A business model canvas is great thinking tool for yourself, but when you print it out or put it up on the whole wall, it allows you to literally arrange all of your work with it. Say, okay, we're going to spend some time addressing users and key partners. Today, we're not talking about revenue. We've already aligned on the value proposition. And last week, just about to publish, I interviewed Jim Kalbach, who wrote Experience Mapping. We talked a lot about how to use experience diagrams, service blueprints, or experience inventories, as I sometimes call them, to get up on the wall all of this information to get people to absorb it and to co-create it. It allows you to divide up your time. We're going to spend 30 minutes on the user journey, 30 minutes on the partner journey, and then 30 minutes on the business opportunities. And that's what we want to get to. That's what we're going to leave with. And so when the room is your agenda, it allows you to literally physically point, say, okay, here we are, we're aligning on the customer. We're all going to stand and look at that area, and we're going to focus on that area for an hour. We're going to work there. And then we're going to rotate 20 degrees, and we're going to focus for 2 hours. We're going to build this journey map. And then we're going to rotate, and we are going to get to next actions. There's something powerful about literally, physically moving your attention from one area of the room to the other. And so that's using the room as your agenda. I'm not saying don't email an agenda, don't put it on a PowerPoint deck or whatever, but I never, if I can ever avoid it, do any kind of group work where there isn't a visual representation of the work that we're planning to do, and where I don't use one of these or several of these large sticky pads to address and name each one of those things that we're going to try and do together. I use the open, explore, and close framework on top of that sometimes and say we're going to open on our customers, we're going to explore this journey map, and we are going to close on these next actions. That mental model is for me. The more I put my cards out on the table, the more I deal openly with the people who I'm facilitating or co-creating with, the more I can bring them in on my story. I don't need to spoon feed them every little piece. It's okay to say, here's the big picture, and here's how we're going to be going through this step by step. And so I really hope that you can find a way to break your agenda into open, explore, and close sections. Get people excited about the close. Make sure you give space to the opening and breathing room for the exploration. And then get that agenda. You can put it in a list. You can do it in a Dave Gray pie chart or a hero's journey, all this we've talked about previous weeks. But break those pieces up into working areas and rotate your group through those pieces as you work. And I think you're going to find a lot of joy in that for yourself and for other people. Something else to look at, I'm just going to publish on this week's podcast episode where I do a deep dive coaching session with a former facilitation student of mine who we did a deep dive on all of these visual facilitation skills and some stuff that I think if you're into this, you'll enjoy. Thank you very much for coming out this week, and I will see you next Facilitation Friday. Don't forget to check out the podcasts and past episodes on theconversationfactory.com. Thanks.